Hey everyone, I am going to play with my BH Take Me Back to Brazil palette. Sorry about the reflection. A little experimenting today, I guess. If you want to see what I do with these fabulous colors, stay tuned. Hey guys, so I decided that I'm going to try and go a little bit outside the box for me and mess with my Take Me Back to Brazil palette. I've seen a lot of really cool tutorials on this. If you haven't seen these colors, they are amazing. It's a perfect blend, rainbow blend for me. Huge variety, and I'm absolutely stoked on it. I just have no idea what I'm going to do. I usually stray towards the pinks, and I don't know. We're going to figure it out. I do have to take my makeup off first, so we're going to do that. So I went ahead and took my filter off, and I'm using my Junkie Double Effect Makeup Remover. It's a cleansing and calming solution for eyes and sensitive areas. I really don't like using like oil-based makeup removers, but I am out of my micellar water, and this is actually a really good one for me. It does leave like the eye area of mine feeling moisturized afterwards, not so much oily. So, and you can see there's not too much effort I have to put into taking off my eye makeup with this remover. I do believe I got it in a box subscription. I just don't remember which one. With this eye makeup remover, you do have to shake it because it separates, which I just forgot to do. So every so often when you're using it, shake it up before you disperse it onto your cotton rounds or whatever you use to remove your eye makeup. You see it's all coming off. This is excellent for like waterproof mascara and look at that, ew, eyeliner and stuff like that. It really makes everything just flake up and come right off. It's awesome. And you could see like I'm not really applying any pressure at all. It just comes off very easily. Now that my skin is dry and clean from all my makeup, my dark circles really throw me off. Sometimes I think that there's still makeup on, but there's not. I want to prime my face. I'm going to use my Cover FX blurring primer. I kind of avoid using this one so much because I'm running low on it. And my Dr. Brandt one, I have like a whole bunch of them. So I usually use that one, but I want to try something different. So I'm going to use the blurring primer and see what it looks like after I apply it. This product, this formula for Cover FX is amazing to me. It leaves my skin like super silky feeling, primes it for like a really good base to start working on. It minimizes your pores. It actually brings out my freckles. I guess it balances out my skin more. I look like I'm really like not even right now because of the lighting. Like if I look in my other mirror, I look fine, but in this lighting I look like a monster right now. But yeah, so I did that. I did my whole face and all down here, excuse me, in my neck. And now I'm going to go in and do my eyebrows. For my eyebrows, I usually use, or lately I've been using my Cella Tantalizing Taupe Eyebrow Cream. But I want to try a lot of different things today. So we're going to try this Big Bang Beauty. I think we got it from BoxyCharm, but everybody was saying it's like a pomade. It's a chocolate color, and I've seen a lot of people using it for their eyebrows. So I am going to use my Aesthetica brush that we got in one of our BoxyCharms and also in Yes Oh Yes. And I'm going to go in and do my eyebrows with this and see how it works. If not, I mean, worst case, I could switch over to my Cella. This formula for the Bang Beauty is really thick. Like, it's kind of like a sticky thick. Like I'm blotting the brush and it don't even feel like any product's coming off. But if you guys can see, I have actually started this eyebrow Compared to this one, it does look like it's doing something. I hate using all these lights to do my videos because my eyes water. And whew, it really bothers. I shut off some of my background lighting, not to deprive you guys of seeing what I'm doing, but to salvage my eyes. Like right now, they're so watery. All right, so I filled in some, but like my eyebrows are really thin, and I need to get them done actually because I have a lot of little hairs here. But I don't feel like I'm getting a more precise like angle or able to shape my eyebrows the way I normally would with the Aesthetica brush and the Bang Beauty. So I filled in what I can, and now I'm going to go over to the Cella and try to outline my eyebrows a little bit better. And I zoomed in, so hopefully this won't hurt my eyes and you'll be able to see more. The only thing I hate is you could see all the little hairs that need to be. All right, so they kind of look really dark, but this is actually my color. My eyebrows are just super thin, so they don't usually look this dark because they're so thin. I am going to set them with my Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow gel, and then I'm going to go around with my concealer and try to get more of a tighter line. I absolutely love this gel for my eyebrows. This is something else I think I got in a box too. It's weird how I hold my one eyebrow. It always looks like it dips down and it's never even. To me, anyway. But sorry, you guys. I get like super quiet and try to stay still when I'm doing this stuff. I might have to go in here a little bit more because it kind of looks like my eyebrows dip down. I think it's the way I'm holding my eyebrow, but I think I told you guys, sometimes when I make mistakes on my eyes or anything, at some point it's just good to stop, because if you keep adding, you're just going to make it worse, and apparently that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to follow around my eyebrows with my concealer and a fine angled brush and see if I can get this mess cleaned up. I have a Smashbox Studio Skin 24-hour waterproof concealer, and it's in light. I'm going to use another Aesthetica brush, same one I use for my eyebrows. Well, it's a different one, but the same one, same style. And I always just dab the brush onto the applicator to get some product. My eyes are so watery. You guys are going to hear me complain through this whole video. And I really need to get my eyebrows done. Badly. For those of you who don't do videos on YouTube and are not used to doing this, what I'm doing, this is a pain in the ass trying to work in the camera. I have 2 mirrors behind me, like behind my camera, but for some reason the lighting's hitting this one better. Do any of you guys make funny faces when you're doing your makeup? I think I've asked you that before, but I want to set my eyes because you can see like it's just one straight white line. I'm going to go with my correction stick. It's L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Correcting Concealer, and it's the color Bisque. I always go for like an oranger color. For those of you who don't know, the orange or the peach color is really good for dark circles. And I think I told you guys before, there's a guy on YouTube that taught me when you're blending your concealer and this to try not to move it. And I'm going to show you what I mean in a second. So I'll put the correctable stick down first. I feel bad for you guys because this is supposed to be a tutorial on the Take Me Back to Brazil palette, and instead I'm doing full face. Now I look crazy, right? Alright, so as I was saying, I seen this guy on YouTube. I forget his name, but I do follow him. And he said, put the correction stick down just where you think you need any dark shadows. And then go back in. Don't blend it. Go back in with your concealer. You know, some people like scribble it all in, the concealer. He says don't do that. So I try not to do that. I do put a lot on, but I kind of agree with him with the scribbling it in my eyes. It's just overkill. Now that I look crazy, I'm going to go in with my Vasanti concealer buffer. I did use the same concealer as I used for my eyes, and that's the Smashbox. And then I used the L'Oreal True Match correction stick. I didn't blend anything into the correction stick is down, and then the concealer's on top. For some reason, I like to do this first. You'd be surprised, like, I end up not having to put any foundation on. I really don't like doing that. So if I can correct any areas with concealer and my correction stick and avoid putting all that foundation on, I really would have preferred that. So that's my goal usually. Like I was telling you guys, the person that I follow on YouTube, because he says put down the correction stick and then sit the concealer on top, you don't want to move the product so much. You just want to blend it in. So that's the concept of me using a buffer. Like I'll just go in like this, because if you remember, the yellow stuff is under my eyes too. So I'm kind of just trying to buffer in the concealer and mix it with the correction stick that I placed down without moving too much of the product, because if you move it around, it's not going to cover anything. It's going to be a whole bunch of gunk on your face. So I always bring the line up here, try to follow my eyes with the white. It does have a lifting effect for your eyes. So sometimes I'll go a little bit more heavier with the concealer right there, just so I could follow the line here. Another thing that this guy told me on YouTube is you want to take off any extra product. So I use like a flat brush, and I'll just go in and kind of make sure it's all blended in. And then I actually go back in with my finger and dab around my eyes a little bit, which takes off any extra gooky stuff that does cake up. I'm going to wet my beauty blender and bake my eyes underneath before I start anything else. I really hate this light. It looks like I have dark circles still. In another mirror, it looks great. When I say like removing extra product, I kind of just go like this. In his tutorials, he uses a tissue. I don't want to rub, like, again, because I don't want to move product around. There's two different products on my eyes. It's the correction stick and the concealer. So I'll wipe my finger off and do the other side. A lot of times, a lot of gook gets, extra product gets stuck right in the corners of your eyes. I know I look like I'm crazy. I just want to make sure it's like rubbed in and there's not a lot of stuff just sitting there. Alright, so I have a wet beauty blender, and I have my Tarte Smooth Operator Amazonian Clay Finishing Powder to bake my eyes. I don't know how you guys do it, but I tap it on my vanity just to get some powder out, and then I'll dab my beauty blender into it. I have a fan blowing on me, so it doesn't really help. then I'll kind of just bounce around down here. It is going to dry white when I'm done, but that's okay because if I have any fallout from my eyeshadow, when I'm done, I just take a brush and I sweep off all of this powder and it will take off the fallout and won't affect my makeup, so that's a good thing. And I bring it up here because I was told that that picks up your eyes. I love this blender because it's got such a great tip to it, so it gets like right there. We see it's already drying white, which is fine. Like I said, it's not going to stay that way. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm so sick with the sniffling and all that. No matter what, it's going to end up drying white. But sometimes I feel like there's just too much, or some spots look more white than others. I'll take the other part of my beauty blender that's a lot more moist. Oh, I hate that word. And I'll go back in and try to blend this in a little bit more. It's still going to dry white, but my attempt is to take off any extra finishing powder, or just blend it in a little bit better. See how like this one spot is? I don't want that there. I wish my tutorials looked as professional as some other people's, but I'm just a regular person, so you guys know I'm experimenting, I guess. So I am ready for my eyes. What colors do I want to do? There is so much of a selection. I want to do something different. I don't want to stick with the pinks. I do have a tendency of doing pink, not just because of my hair, but it is my favorite color. So maybe we could do like a pink and purple kind of thing. I could still keep the color I like and incorporate another color in that family. So we are going to get my brush. I'm still learning. I have to be honest. I'm still learning how to go in with my eyes. Like I always go in with like a transitional shade first, which is something that's not really dark or light. It's kind of in the middle of what I would be like the middle color of what I plan on using. So I just have to find the perfect brush. And that's another thing I'm learning is brushes make such a big difference. So if you don't know what brushes do what, it can make a hell of a difference. But these are the brushes I usually use for my eyes. They're my go-to brushes. So we're going to have to figure out which one's the best one to start with a transitional color. I think something like this would be good. This is my Glamour Doll brush. So I think I'm going to go in with a lighter pink, something like this one right here. These colors aren't labeled, but I'm going to start with that one. And let's see what that looks like. I'm going to go right above my crease because my eyes are deep set. I'm always told that you shouldn't go in with anything too dark on your crease. These are matte colors. Take Me Back to Brazil came out with a all shimmer palette. I don't have that one, so these ones are, well, I'm sorry, I'll take that back. They're not all mattes. There's a couple, but most of them are matte. And then the new one they just came out with is like all shimmer, same colors. I'm still using that same pink that I showed you guys. This is a buildable palette. These colors are buildable, so I've gone in a couple times on both sides with this pink. My eyes are so watery today. I'm trying not to push down too hard with the brush and just gently like glide it over my eyelids and blend it in a little bit. Try to stick with the corners being a little bit darker, even though I'm going to add more color to it. You can tell this is already going to be a bolder color or bolder look than I'm used to. All right, I think that I'm good with this right now. So I'm kind of playing with these colors a little bit. I'm going to go in right with a more thinner brush right in here with this crazy, crazy pink right here. So we'll see. Before I even work on the edges, because I think I might do like purple out here and bring it in. I'm gonna use a different brush though. This will I'll keep for blending, but I'm gonna use a smaller brush to get a little bit tighter. I'm using my Vintage Cosmetics Step 1 brush, and I'm just trying to get the tip of it saturated with pink. And I'm kind of like dabbing it right on my crease. You could pull it down, but I don't want to get it above that. Wow, that's really pink. Super pink, wow. Oh, my eyes are so watery. I'm gonna complain through this whole video. I think I got enough pink to where I'm a little bit more comfortable. I'm gonna take the original brush that I used and go back in with that light color and go right above it again. And then eventually blend these two a little bit. That's so pink. Alrighty then. And I'm wiping my brush off in between. I'm just gonna kind of scribble, scrabble. On both sides. To work on the corners of my eyes, I'm going to go in with something darker, but I wanted to use a dense but flexible, smaller brush. So this is another Vintage Cosmetics brush. This is Step 2. And I think I'm going to do this purple, this matte purple. Let's see. I might do this dark one right here. Let's see how that goes. Told you I was gonna do something outside the box for myself, so this is definitely outside of the box for me. Worst cases, I don't like the way it looks and I just don't post the video. I absolutely hate how my eyes fold. You guys know I hate this corner of my eye. I hate the way it looks when I do makeup. Never lays right. Like if I stretch it out, it looks great. The moment I let go, it's like, ew. I might bring this purple in and do even thinner right on my crease because I kind of like it with the pink. It's really loud. For me, that's really loud. I need to invest in some tape and start taping off my eyes because I love that sharpness that everybody gets when they're done right here. I think that always looks great. I can't ever get that. I have an idea. So I'm gonna try something different. Remember how I said I wanted to go up here with the purple? Instead, I'm just gonna cover my whole eyelid up to where I would cut my crease. And then we're going to eventually go back in with concealer and cut it. I've seen people do that where they layer and they'll keep going over it with the concealer and then layering a new color. So we're gonna do that. I never tried this before, so let's see how this goes. That's wild, right? Excuse me. All right. I'm gonna use a little bit more of a denser brush and try to blend this out a little bit because I might put another color on the corner here. I wipe the brush off in between. Right, this is a little bit better, right? Somebody told me with dark circles to avoid purples, that it makes you look like you have a black eye. So we'll see when we're done. Hopefully I don't. That'd be crazy, right? All for fun, right? So I am going to go into the corner with one of these blues. Which blue? We'll do this dark blue right here. Or should I do that one? I think we'll do this one right here. And I'm going to use this Luxie 140 Detail Taper Blender brush. It's really dense, but it's got a nice point to it. I think I could just pack it on right in the corners here. All right, I'm kind of just dabbing it on the outer V. I don't know if I'm going to like this, you guys, but I'm not going to know unless I try. Could be the brush. I could be using the wrong brush for this, but... super pigmented, this palette. And I like that it's buildable. Like, it just doesn't go on crazy. I'm making it crazy. And what would you know? It's actually filling in that part of my eye that I never get product on. So I'm a little amazed. Taking the Alamar, this big fluffy one for your eyes. And I'm kind of just dabbing, but with like a light sweep to it going inward. And I'm wiping it off. In between, I want all this extra crap to come off. This is really out of the box for me. You guys know that I don't do color. Like, I'll do pinks, but I don't even know if I do it this bright. Before I cut my crease, I'm going to take that light purple that I did on my eyelids and go back in again and try to bring it up a little bit, because I'm going to go in with the concealer in a second, and I want a little bit of this to show at the top. I'm not going to leave my eyes purple because I have dark eyes and I don't like these colors I was always told to stay away from. We will see. Right now it looks like I have two black eyes. I hate that that fold right there. All right, so I'm back with my Smashbox concealer and my Aesthetica brush that everybody likes to use for their eyebrows. I do have one that I use for my eyebrows too, but this one was for my cut crease. Let's see if I can do this on camera. That would be great. I won't come all the way out here because I like that dark color. It is so hard to do your makeup on a camera. I mean, it looks like it'd be a mirror, but it just is so complicated. As usual, I think I came up a little bit too high, but I will fix. I will fix. I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye. Try to even this out so we could put some color in the middle. I swear people know when I'm recording. So I came up a little bit higher than I wanted to. I'm going to go back in with that small Vintage Cosmetics brush with the bright pink and try to drag it along right here. And outline right where I wanted the concealer to stop. You see this one, I kind of made a big mess. Try to clean it up a little bit. I did want to go in here with some dark with that color, But I think I might leave it light and just... Alright, so I initially was going to stick with just pinks and blues and purple, but I think I'm going to go with this really pretty blue color right here and start from here in, and we'll see how that goes. I'm going to use my Alamar brush, one of my Alamar brushes, and we're going to go in with that. Wow, this is like super, super duper pigmented. I'm going to just stick with the center for right now on both eyes. And I'm just dabbing it on. I'm not trying to brush it on yet. Like, just get the color on there. Wow. This looks like I'm going to the circus. No offense to anybody else. I'm just not used to it. Of course, my eyes gotta start watering again. Since we're going bold, I might as well. I'm gonna go in with this yellow right here, a bright, bright yellow with the insides of my eyes. And I'm gonna use the other Alamar brush that I have and see how this goes in. I think I'm gonna have to go back like where my crease is and make it more defined and bring out that pink again. But for right now, we're just playing with color. I want this yellow to pop just as much as the other colors. And it doesn't look like it is yet anyway. There is a lot of fallout with this yellow. So I'm going to dampen my brush with my Tarte Ready Set Radiant, which I might have wet too much. See if this product will stick a little bit better. Because I was literally like wiping in the palette and it was just like flaking all around in the palette, but it didn't look like anything was coming on the brush. Let's see. Actually changed the color. Hey, you know what? That Ready Set Radiant, I think it's got a purple tint to it. Crap. That spray. It's got like grapeseed oil and stuff in it, so that's probably why. I switched brushes. I went to another clean vintage cosmetics brush. This was step 3 out of the trio that we got. And I'm going back in dry because that Tarte was not a good idea. It's a great mist, but not for this. You can see, I think this one looks darker now than that one. That yellow doesn't look the same to me. So frustrating. I'm having fun, believe it or not. Can you guys tell? Huh. With colors like this, I've noticed that you really can't blend them. You can like soften them up to transition into the next color. But if you try dragging them in, crap, I got too much purple up here. If you try dragging them in, it changes everything. So that's just with my experience and what I've seen. So I'm trying to soften these up into the next color. And then I want to go back in with a really fine brush and just go over my crease with that pink again. Hopefully this will all come together when I'm done, because I feel like when people do eyes, it's really hard to tell what it's going to look like until everything is done. For each color that I use that brush, I kind of like just try to soften up the colors. Like if I used the brush, the blue brush, I went in with the blue and just squiggled. Now I'm using another Aesthetica brush. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is the BH Cosmetic brush number 132. And I'm going with the darkest pink that I used and just kind of going over my crease. Hoping that it'll just make it more sharpened, like a sharpened look, whatever. All right, I'm done playing with this now. I am going to go on with my highlighter on my brow bone and the insides of my eyes, but I want to do, actually, you know what? I'll do that. I'm going to use my favorite go-to highlighter. It's the Dirty Little Secret. I think this is Bellini baked highlighter. And I'm just going to go in right here. I might have went in too close. I love this highlighter. If I didn't have the yellow there, I'd probably even go in more on my eyelid. I usually do that, and I usually use my Cella highlighter for my brow, but I need a sharpener and I haven't sharpened it, so it won't be that precise. This brush is a Luxie 239 Precision Shader. I think it's excellent. I know girls, plenty of yous do it. You'll take one of these colors, usually the outer one, and bring it down. I have dark eyes. I don't want to put purple down here. I am going to do my eyeliner, and I'm going to attempt to use my Ico London one. That's my favorite. Worst case is I'm going to have to go to the new Butter London one that I just got from BoxyCharm. So hopefully this one will give me what I want. I think it's getting kind of low. I think when you have a lot of product on your eyes, it's really hard to use these pens. It's easier to go on with something that's really saturated, just to go glide right over the product. So we're going to try with the Butter London one. I really need a mirror. I believe this is how I poked my eye out last time. Let's see if I can get this in better. It'll be easier for me to work with. This part is a bitch. You guys know I waste way too much time trying to perfect my lines. It's so annoying. Ugh. In my other eye, you don't even see it, it's like watering. Having this Butter London like super wet does help a lot. It just like glides right on. So I finally got my eyeliner as best as I could. And I want to get rid of all this powder under my eyes. I might go in with some concealer again just to straighten the line here. But I want to get rid of all that powder. So I'm using like a denser brush. don't know why I open my mouth when I do that. It's so weird. It's like I know I'm doing it and I still do it anyway. I'm going to use my Pure Sculptor contour palette and use this color up here, which is called Inventor. And I'm using a crown brush. It's a little bit more denser. I have like a natural shadow here, you see? So I try to follow that when I do my contour. You know, it looks crazy dark right now. I hated that line when I was a kid. It always looked like I got punched. And then I'll go around my hairline. I'll blend it in a second. I know people that use bronzer underneath. I really don't see much of a difference. So I know it looks crazy and it's not going to stay that way. I will use the same brush. I clean it off and kind of like blend it out. And I'll keep wiping it off. This is a dark color for me. I wasn't really big on contouring for a long time, but I already have them lines here, so I might as well do something with them. I'm going to use, don't laugh, because this is like one of my favorite, my Lisa Frank Glamour Dolls brush and the Laura Geller Baked Blush and Brighten that we got in BoxyCharm. And I'm going to go right over this line here. I love this blush. It's got like a, to me it looks like there's a highlighter in it, so I like it. For a highlighter, I used to use my little fan brush, but I am like a highlighting hog. So I'm going to use my Luxie tapered highlighter and back into my Dirty Little Secret Bellini. Love, love, love this highlighter. I have a serious problem with highlighters. I know it might be too much, but dude, if I could highlight my whole face, I would. I love this. A serious addiction. Since I really don't use a foundation, I kind of like to go in and like even out my tone a little bit with my True Match, L'Oreal True Match blendable powder. And I'll just like go around in little spots. This is another crown brush I'm using. I won't go anywhere where I just did the contour or highlighter. I love this powder. It doesn't leave like a coating on my face like I'm wearing makeup. Right there. I still do mascara and my lips. Me and my daughter were just playing around with colors. I'm gonna go with something nude, which I don't agree with. I'd rather do, ooh, when I crinkle my eyebrow, it looks funny. The Laura Geller Palette Perfection Waterproof Lip Liner in the color Spice. And my Too Faced Melted Matte in the color Clean Bay. Which I do love this color, but I don't think it's good for this look. I hate mattes. I really don't don't like this color for this look, but whatever. You see, we did like a whole bunch of different swatches. My daughter picked that one, the one I just put on. I'm going to use my Wander Beauty Unleashed Volumizing Mascara. Last time I poked my eye out with you guys. I feel like I do my eyeliner so thick you guys can never see my eyelashes. So I always have to resort to the falsies. This mascara really does great for my eyelashes. Just can't see unless I put it on an angle that you could see past my eyeliner. So I finished up with my mascara and my lips are done. I had to like relocate. But this is the finished look with the Take Me Back to Brazil palette. I don't really know how I feel about it because you guys know I don't do colors. My daughter likes it, but I don't know if I really liked her reaction. I don't know if it's more of a shocker for her to see me with these colors. But I know she wouldn't, if she didn't like it, she would have been like, don't post it, Mom. And she definitely, I asked her, I was like, should I post this? And she said, yeah. So hopefully she knows what she's talking about. I don't really know how I feel about it. Let me know what you guys think, though. I'm kind of excited that I went outside the box a little bit. Looking at it more, I think that there was other things I could have done differently or better. But for a start, you guys know I've never done anything like this. So I'm kind of happy with the first run with me doing something like this. I think I did okay. I like to see what I look like in a year from now trying the same look. Hopefully I'll get better at it. But yeah, thanks for watching, you guys. Sorry it was super long. I just don't feel like I could have just did my eyes and that's it. I feel like I had to do my whole face. And yeah, so I appreciate you guys watching and all of your support. Give me some comments down below because I'm sure he's got some better suggestions for what I did. Hope I don't look like a clown, anybody. I will see you all again real soon. Bye.